Hey guys, I am not a happy camper today because the idea today was to do a quick thing on Salah's presser and then go through quickly, but in detail, what the Jets have done since the original cuts to get down to 53. And then I want to do a quick thing about the Jets, with having an extremely young roster and all this talk of how young they are and how it's a little misleading because yes, it's true, but there's other sides to that, and which ties into the amount of draft picks we have next year. So that was the idea. So I watched the Salah presser and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. So there's going to be a video coming out right after this concerning the 53-man roster and the Jets rookies and the draft picks for next year, and that's going to be really interesting. It's a real good bunch of stuff. But the problem is, I just watched the Salah presser, and I've come to several conclusions concerning the Jet media, and I always knew it. But today it really hit me why they cannot be good because they don't have the ability to be good, because they only have the ability to shine. There are certain people in life that just shine on negativity. They're at their best when there's crap around them. They just don't do well when things are really good. They look out of place. They look, whatever it may be. But when the crap hits the fan, they're at their best. And the Jet media, the leftovers, I like to call them, that's exactly the case. They have become so good because they've been covering such a crappy franchise for so long that they've become so good at negativity that they don't have the ability to recognize something different. That's why Joe Douglas, they don't even know how to handle him. They don't even know who he is. They've heard about GMs like Joe Douglas, but they don't even know how to ask the right questions. Robert Saleh, to them, is a Martian. They have no idea they have no idea how to ask him questions. No idea. And when they try to get him, in the past, it used to look okay because the Jet media, being so good at going after crap, was constantly going after crap, right? I mean, Gase, the Jets, the record, the ownership, the GMs. When you're constantly questioning shit, excuse my language, you become good at it. You know how to recognize it. You know how it works. You know its positives and its negatives. You know what. There's no surprises with it. It doesn't have the ability to be good because it's crap. And you become good at it. And that's the Jets media right now. They don't even know how to deal with Salah. They don't know how to deal with a quarterback like Zach Wilson. That when they ask him questions and try to go negative with him, Sam Darnold, they used to do that with, and you'd see Sam, and we'd always say, boy, Sam handles the press well. He did. He handled it very well. But Sam, it was like hyperventilation. When you would hyperventilate when you'd watch him. It was constant. You felt like he was constant, and he didn't have much to back him up because the play on the field was so poor. And now the media has been turned upside down with this new coach, this new GM, this new quarterback, this new roster, and you know what? This new ownership. Because it is almost as if we have new owners now because of the structure of how the Jets are set up. The ownership, for the most part, unless you see them clapping as the Jets are walking off the field, there's not going to be the involvement. There's not going to be the embarrassment. It's very difficult for the ownership to be embarrassed when you have a GM that lets nothing out of the bag. I mean, nothing. You have no idea what this guy's going to do. You have a head coach that is just a great, great guy, unflappable. When you ask him a stupid question, he has that smirk on his face like, hey, hey, idiot, are you really, you think you're going to put one over on me? And then he answers the question with such humility. He doesn't throw the barbs back, and they don't know how to handle it. When they do that to Gase, you remember what it was like. I mean, throw a match in there, the friggin' place would blow up, right? When they try to get Zach off his game a little bit, and he turns around and says to them, listen, guys, I make mistakes in practice so I can learn what I can get away with in a game. What do you do? What do you do if you're the media? They do not know how to handle this group. And so they're going to have days like this when they look like complete idiots, embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. And I wouldn't give a crap, quite honestly, but I do the solid pressers and I've got to answer, I go down the list. I've been doing this basically every single day. And I give the answers of, what's going on with the team. And you can't help but notice it. It's embarrassing. It's football. Don't get me wrong. Life has a lot bigger problems. But right now, this is what I'm doing. Later on, I might go outside and save somebody's life. But this is what I'm doing right now. Insane. Crowder has a groin injury. I never am going to knock websites and stuff like that. But this, I was surfing around this morning and last night real quick, and to put stuff up there, Crowder, about is Crowder injured, and then you get into the videos, and everybody knows. Joe Douglas said it yesterday. There was nobody thought that Crowder was going to be traded. That was not that. He may be, but the reason that he was out is he had a groin injury, and Joe Douglas said it yesterday. So come on, don't mislead people. God. Then the question started. Is it a challenge to prepare a rookie quarterback for the season? And Saleh basically said, you try to give him as many looks as you possibly can. And, you think about things that he might struggle with and throw it at him. Throw it at him in practice. Whatever you think a rookie quarterback is going to struggle with, you throw it at him at practice. And that's what they tried to do this entire preseason, Jets have brought in Reuben Foster, who was a former first-round pick of the Niners and has had incredible amount of injury issues. Reuben Foster with Alabama was a stud player, man. He was a stud player. He would run you down and then bury you and hurt you. He was unbelievable. And comes to the NFL, and the first thing that started, he just was injured. He had injuries all over the place. And then, of course, as we've learned, there's been off-the-field issues too. So he was asked about that, and then he's asked about it again. I'll go into that later on. He then made an interesting point. Somebody asked him if they've made a decision yet on the right tackle spot, Moses. And he gave a weird answer. He said, no, not yet, which is whatever. He said, they're still looking to clean some stuff up. And I don't know what he meant by that. And I wonder, with moving Fant around, I just wonder if they're planning on doing something else with that line that includes the two guys that are competing for the position. I don't know. I mean, that's a weird answer. He said, not yet. We still have to look at cleaning some stuff up. That's not the right answer. If you're asked the question is, do you want to go with A or B? No, waiting to make our decision on these two guys. But that's not what he said. So that was an interesting answer. Then it became troublemaker time. Okay. This one drove me crazy when they asked Joe Douglas about it, because what the hell is your GM going to say about this? Especially Joe Douglas. You know you're not going to get anything. And Joe gave the perfect answer. We wish him nothing but the best. He was asked how he felt about bringing back James Morgan, and now that he's signed with the Panthers, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about the fact he signed with the Panthers? And his original answer was, vanilla. And it just, at this point now, my blood starts to boil with these guys. And they're all one. One of them I might like better than the other guy, and this guy might be nicer, and this guy here is, but when they all get like this in a room, they remind me, if there was such a thing as reincarnation, the Jet media would come back as that like high school popular girl group that nobody likes, and they're gossiping all the time and they're little bitches. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, and I don't know where that comparison came from. Disappointing in a sense, and Salah struggled to say it correctly and respectfully. Oh, and then, of course, that wasn't, and this is Cimini, by the way. And then Cimini says, are you disappointed? Here we go now with the whole high school girl thing, right? Let's go with the emotions. Are you disappointed? I mean, you guys put a year and a half. Think about what they're asking him here. Take a breath. Think about what they're asking him here. Are you disappointed that you put in a year and a half with him and you wanted to bring him back, and yet he chose the Panthers? And Salah, I'm going to put the link in there so you guys know I'm not bullshitting and I'm not fabricating or stretching the truth or anything here. Salah goes like this. Well, he stutters. Well, and then he told the truth without saying it. One little couple little words he threw out there, and that's all he had to do. And then he went through that couple little words out there, like rich, idiot, couple words, and then vanilla. We wish him nothing but the best. And the couple words were, it was our decision. What are you talking about? We cut him. Disappointed. And that's what he said. He goes, well, there's two sides to it. It was our decision. Like, what are you talking about? You're making it sound like James Morgan wrote a letter to Salah and Joe Douglas saying, hey guys, thanks for everything. I know you're going to notice my room's empty. I really like you guys and everything you've done, but I really, really would rather play with the Panthers. And I packed my bags and I've left. That's not what happened. You got cut. What do you mean disappointed? How can you be disappointed? You put a year and a half time in with him. He decided to go with the Panthers. And he's trying to get Salah to react and say that it was a crappy move because they think, because they're such a paranoid, negative bunch of jerks, they think that Morgan's going to run to Carolina, give him all the Jet bullshit BS, right? How the Jets run their offense, how the Jets do this, how the Jets do that, and who the Jets play the first week of the season? The Panthers. And breaking news, how many times have we've done this to teams? We did this to the Patriots, didn't we? Who was the quarterback or receiver or somebody we signed about 3 years? We've done this. Everybody does this. This is the oldest NFL trick in the book. And Salah even gave a backhanded compliment to the Panthers. Says, I know those guys down there. I'm sure they did it for all the right reasons. Meaning, I'm sure they just didn't do it to get information on us. They're going to cut James Morgan in week 3. But how many times have we seen that happen? They bring the guy in from the other team. They play the team the first week of the season, and they're not idiots about it. They don't cut him that Monday. 3-4 weeks later, they cut the guy. And Saleh basically said that and still complimented Carolina. I'm sure they did it for all the right reasons. And what he really wanted to say, and if they didn't, then they did everything that we've done too. But there they are, like little schoolgirls and little schoolboys, just trying to create problems. Unbelievable. Next question. What have you seen in Marcus May, and how important is he? Now, was that really the question? Or was the question really a setup to the second question? First question, what have you seen in Marcus May, and how important is he? Vanilla, vanilla. Oh, vanilla. Oh my gosh, vanilla. Vanilla, vanilla, right? Second question, what is your level of respect to May for dealing with his contract and still going out and playing? Oh, that's what you really wanted to ask me. I just got done complimenting the hell out of him, and you're just going to throw in my face that we didn't get a contract done with him. So now you're going with the sympathy route. You follow what they try to do? And they think they're so smart. They think I don't know if it's they think they're so smart that they're surprising you, or they think they're so smart that they're able to get to that second question and just perform that question and think they're going to get anything out of it. And if I were Saleh, and that's why I'm here, I would have said, well, I'll be honest with you. Yes, I am very impressed with the fact that he is dealing with a contract, but he's still making, about $10, $11 million this year by going out and playing. And the fact that he could sit home and not make that $11 million, but decide to go out there and play, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed that he chose to play 17 NFL games for $11 million instead of sitting home. He is, he's a mountain of a man. That's why I'm sitting here. Saleh just answered and said, yes, he's dealt with both issues, perfectly, and we're not surprised by it because Marcus May is a good guy, blah, blah, blah. Incredible. Connor McGovern made it a nice compliment towards Zach Wilson. And he said he's a gamer. He just turns it on, turns it on when the lights go on. Saleh discussed how Zach took chances in practice, and it goes right back to that question that they asked earlier, and they tried to get a rise at his Zach. And what Connor McGovern was basically saying, yeah, in practice, we've seen a couple of mistakes here, a couple of mistakes there, but let me tell you something. When those lights go on, he is a gamer. And if you've noticed so far, and don't get me wrong, he can go to Carolina and throw 4 interceptions. He's a rookie. He's going to have certain games like that. But if you notice so far in preseason, all this nonsense talk is, oh, he threw 2 interceptions in practice today. He threw 1 today to this one and 1 today to that one. Oh, he threw 1 in this one. This was deflected. So far, what did we see in preseason? Nothing. No bad passes, no bad decisions, nothing. Because he does it in practice to see what he can get away with in the game. He's told us that. He wasn't lying, Again, he is a rookie. It's going to happen. But in the past, every other rookie quarterback that I can remember the Jets putting out there would go out there and make those mistakes in practice and make those mistakes in preseason. We haven't seen them yet. So let's see. I have a funny feeling we're not going to see 4 interceptions and real rookie stuff. Occasionally we're going to get it. We're definitely going to get it. Then he was asked, is there a chance that Zach might do something in the game that you have not seen in practice? And he smiled. He goes, absolutely. Definitely. In fact, I thought, it was a little bit of a crazy question, but it's true, I said this in a video about practices in general. Practices in general, when they run an offensive, when you're running your offensive plays, a coach is sitting there with a whistle in his mouth. So, quarterback, play action, drop back, rolls right, pressure's coming on, it's too strong, play's going to break down, coach blows the whistle. So you don't get to see what would have happened after that. And that's where Zach Wilson tends to be very strong. So there are things that in Zach Wilson's bag are, tricks that we have not seen yet, So I'm really looking forward to watching him this year. Their attempts to knock him down has failed. Season. Oh, yeah. They're confused. The media right now is really, really confused. They don't know how to handle Zach. They don't know how to handle Saleh, and they don't know how to handle Douglas. It's these three. You would think a quarterback, a shiny new quarterback, that if he were to have a really good year would be good for this media. But this media knows only one way to prosper, and that's with negativity. They do not know the other way because there hasn't been any. So that's the only thing they know. They don't have the ability to turn the other switch on. I hope that makes sense. There have been guys that have followed the Jets in the past that have moved on. That these negative guys, we saw them. God, who was the writer? Dick Young was a writer for who was it? Daily News and the Times and the Daily News. These old time writers are there forever, and they just sit there. You remember the old time ones with the cigar in their mouth, and they just sit there, and one day they die. They just take these jobs and they just sit there and rot. And that's what some of these guys are slowly becoming. They have not gotten that phone call from ESPN. They have not gotten that phone call from Sporting News or a very hot website publication. They have not gotten those calls, and they have not gotten those calls, quite honestly, because their questions suck. These papers don't want to go out and hire a Rich Cimini, who's just a miserable bastard every time he opens his mouth with the Jets. And I think a Rich Cimini doesn't care, because Rich Cimini is happy with his little position with the Jets, and he's going to stay there forever. And most of the time, like I said, I hear his questions and I just get pissed off for a second, and life goes on. It's not a big deal in the whole scheme of life. It really isn't. But when I'm doing a friggin' Saleh press every day and I got to listen to it every day, it occasionally hits a nerve that is just beyond belief. This press only knows how to prosper in failure. They don't know anything else. So, thank you, press. I would have been done right now doing a 23-minute video. Easily would have covered the other two things I want to talk about. But instead, at some point this afternoon, I've got to go back and do this one more time, which is going to be a really good video. You're going to like this next video. So subscribe. If you know anybody else, friends, family members, whoever that doesn't like the Jet media, pass this video along to them. And I wish I could find something positive to say, but today's just one of those days where you just can't do it. And that's it for that. I will get back to you, like I said, with the other video, and we'll talk about the roster and what the Jets ended up bringing back and all the things they've done. And thank you for letting me bitch. Have a great day, guys and girls.